Hey everyone, Egman here with another deck profile. This is definitely, I don't think I've seen anyone else run this, which is unique, which means it's great, right? Unique decks are the best decks, aren't they? It's the other Android kind of chain that people always forget because it wasn't really good, but it's not Super 17, it's Android 13 Doi. It's not even Super 13, it's just like Bluer 13. Is there even a canonical name for him? Yeah, okay. See, look, his name is Super Android 13. I thought so. I wasn't crazy, but his card's just like, no, it's just Unending Destruction Android 13. He's not super yet. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, so this is just a Super 13 deck based on running Super 17 as leader. This is the first Android leader with an untapped skill, so besides Mira, but we don't talk about him. So I think he's really good, and I want to go into it. So just for the rest of the ability, so he's burst 2. When this card attacks, draw 1 card, which is really good for 2 reasons. First one is we like drawing cards. Second one is we really need to get Android 14 and Android 15 into our drop area, so being able to hit them from here is really good. Also, we have the flip side, Sparking 5. This card gets critical for duration of the turn, which is good in itself, and also combos with Unending Destruction Android 13. And then also the ability that never gets played: if your opponent has 10 or more cards in their hand, your opponent places cards from their hand in their drop until they have 9 cards in hand, which would also trigger this Android 13. So when you play this card, your opponent chooses one of their battle cards and KOs it, which is okay. Your opponent has to choose it, but whatever. And when one of your opponent's battle cards is placed in the drop area from any area by any skill from any area but any of your skills other than this one, your opponent chooses 1 card from hand and places it in the drop area. So that means that his first auto triggers his second auto, and additionally this means anything. So that means even critical. So if you crit their life and you hit a battle card, then you get another card out of their hand, which is really good. Or if you do Stout-Hearted Android 16 with this, you get to drop 2 cards from their hand, which is really powerful, right? And so it's kind of that stuff that is just kind of a slippery slope of just destroying their entire hand, which I think is really powerful and can be really good in this meta. So let's start with the low stuff. So we have 8 negates. I'm not sure if that's too many or too little. That's always a good starting point. And then if you find that you're running too many negates, I always think it's best to scale back. Shocking Death Ball is really good, and it's your free one, which is awesome. And then also Speedy Surprise Attack. And I've been finding a lot of people kind of surprised about this card, just because they're not really expecting it. They're like, oh, they're going to play Shocking Death Ball, so I can be fine with my 3 energy thing, and these Speedy Surprise, and they feel bad. So that's really powerful. Speedy Surprise Attack is also really good for getting Android 14 into your drop area. Android 15 is okay because it's always a free combo, but both Android 14s that exist right now are 1K. So I decided to go with this one. There's also just the straight 10K combo one, but this can just be good for additional card destruction, which is also good if you have Android 13 out there. So there's that. Endless Malice Android 17 is also really good. It's burst 3 and it gets plus 5k in critical for duration of the turn. So it's a 15k crit, which is awesome. You burst 3, so hopefully you can hit some more 14s and 15s, which is good, and I think that's really strong. We've got Stout-Hearted Android 16, which we kind of go into. I'm not sure if we want to run... I think running this card as our super combo is good. I think we generate enough value and stop enough of their value that it's good enough for that. Android 15, I don't think we'd ever play this verbatim, but if we did, your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and place in the drop, so you can once again get 13 synergy. We're running 4 Hellfighter 17. This is the Super 17 combo is kind of just like a side win condition for this deck. It's not what you are hoping for, but we are running Android 17s anyways, and if we want to, like, this chain is a lot easier because it's either from deck or drop area. So as long as the cards aren't stuck in our hand or life, it's really good. Even if these are stuck, this card's stuck in our life, we have like Speed Surprise Attack that can take care of it and stuff. So yeah, and getting into I chose this Super 17. When you play this card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. So once again, combos with this guy. And the cool thing is the Union Absorb for this is free, so you can just play this for a barrier for free. have it sit there, and then next turn you can play Android 13, KO one of their cards, and then play Super 17, KO another one of their cards. They drop 2 cards in their hand, and just to keep the combo going. The other thing is you can just play this card into the Super 16. We are running this Infernal Villainy cell, so we do have some cell, and you can get into this guy. And when this card attacks, your leader card is green. Your opponent chooses 2 cards from their hand, place in their drop. If you're not already winning by having Super 17, Super 13 out on the field, you're dropping 3 cards every time this card attacks, which is crazy. As long as one of, or at least, actually it would be 4 if they're both battle cards, right? That's the only thing. So if they discard like a negate from their hand to satisfy a drop condition, you don't get a trigger because it's not a battle card. But anyways, I still think it's really powerful. And then there's so how we actually go into it. So I'd say that's probably the only thing that's really holding this card back is it's a turn 4, which is already kind of like a turn later, which sucks. But you choose up to 1 of Android 14 and 15 from your drop area, place them under the card, choose 1 Android 13 with energy cost 7 from your deck. So it's also from our deck, which can be kind of perilous in a deck that is bursting as much as it is. But when you play this card, your opponent chooses one of their battle cards and KOs it. So like you play this and you have to play 1 green, but if you are not awakened yet, you can just play this, unawaken, play the 1, and then go into the 13, which is really good. And yeah, and then the last card I don't think I touched on. Did I go into Newfound Power Sun Gohan? Because he's good, and he's crit, and he helps you awaken, so that's why we play him. But also Dark Temptation Toa. When you play this card using Overwhelm, if your leader card is green or yellow, choose one of your leader cards, gains plus 5k power for duration of the turn, and then your opponent chooses one of the cards in their hands placed in the drop area. So yeah, I didn't think I was kind of iffy about doing Overwhelm just because both of our chains kind of depend on having the cards in the drop area. But since we burst so much, and since I feel like the benefit of having just additional card droppage, because this turns into a drop 2 cards from their hand if you have Android 13 card out, and if you're awakened and then you have a 20k crit attacking, which is really good. I think it's fine that you have to have sparking first, so you have to drop 5 more cards. Man, you can experiment with Dark Temptation Toa if you want. If you don't like it, there are definitely other cards you can go into. Another card I thought about was the other Super 17. If you don't like the chain, if you'd rather just play either one of these 2, because this is really good too. It's double strike, permanent. This card's attack can't be negated. When you play this card, you may choose 2 cards from your hand and place them in the drop area. If you do, your opponent chooses 2 cards in their hand and places them in the drop area. So this can be really good with the combo I was talking about earlier, where if you have this just sitting there because it has barriers, so it's pretty safe. So play this on turn 3. On turn 4, you play this, you do a combo. So they discard a card, and then you go into the Super 17 for free, because that's how the Union Absorb works. And then you can just destroy their hand more. So you discard 2, and then you can discard up to 4, which is crazy. So I think that's really powerful. And yeah, that's it from me, I think. Let me know what you guys think below. This is definitely more of a haphazard kind of theory craft, but I think it has a lot of potential. And I think just being able to run the Super 17 in the background for alternative win condition is really powerful too, and doesn't take up as much space because you only need really one of these guys because it can be from the drop area. And yeah, that's it from me. Let me know what you guys think of the deck below, and I will catch you guys next time.